Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Antiques. I think, whoa.
Sorry about that.
Loud. Are you loud enough now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, welcome to Let's Talk Antiques, and we're going to be talking about toys, old toys on today's program.
Yeah.
And
Sure are.
so we got the group here, and you're supposed to do the introduction.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Okay.
You know, we're supposed to tune in, and
I lied to you about my number, by the way. So you're listening to us now on WMSR Radio.
Okay.
And you catch us every Wednesday at what time is this? 9 o'clock. There
it's
you go. There you go.
I know you're running late today.
I was running late today.
You come
There you
running
go.
in here. The cameras weren't set up.
I've been working on the
windows
graduation
weren't
stuff. I got an
adjusted
excuse.
right. The sound levels weren't right.
So and you can also catch us every day on LightTube, and you can catch us on Charter 193.
On LightTube, it's at 1 o'clock.
Is it 1:30?
1:30.
1:30. And then we're also on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for us. You'll find Let's Talk Antiques.
Okay. And if you see us on Facebook, like it, so we get more likes and
Oh yeah.
more distribution.
And share it because
We'll all get a big raise.
there you go. Exactly.
How much?
I'll double your salary.
All right.
Hey, that's great.
2 times nothing is still nothing.
Still nothing, haven't you?
You know what I think, though?
What's that?
I think it's an intention means a lot. I mean, you as
Oh yeah,
intended.
right. I mean to be nice to you. It just doesn't come across.
Yeah.
All right.
So Howard.
Yes, sir.
You brought us a couple of toys,
I did.
and we've done a little research. Won't you turn them around for the television people so they can see them?
Okay. Well, we got 2. Where's the camera? at?
Right behind that.
Right, there you
You
There we
know,
go. We got.
you could have done like this, Howard.
There you
you
go.
go.
There you go. Sideways. There you go. Cool. Well, those are nice.
Yeah, like that.
Really nice.
Those are pretty old.
This one here is from the late 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
It was made in Germany,
Oh. Wow.
hyphen U.S. zone.
Oh wow.
Back when
cool.
Germany was still divided, remember?
Yeah.
And it is a wind-up toy. It does work. It goes forward, reverse. The wheels turn.
There's a stick and a gear shift inside
gear
of it there. I guess
the
that's
steering wheel has been broke off. Has a selector over here where you can adjust it,
Oh, okay.
and it does still
Everything
run.
works.
Oh, very cool.
Do you ever put a little oil on that, Howard?
I think I used to back in the day. It's been in storage for quite a while.
You probably might ought to put a little bit on it since you got it out.
Right. And then, of course, this one is a, well, it's the chassis. It's, what do you call those? Tether
tether car.
It's
I
a
was gonna
tether
say, is
car.
that a tether car?
Don't
Yeah,
you remember I saw Mike one on when he came to
American
the
Picture.
house? Yeah, American
It has a place here for your cord.
Yeah.
And you would run this thing out, 25, 30 feet. And you could buy a gasoline engine that fits down in here that powered the rear wheels.
And where did it? Let's say, how did you reach the gas engine there? Was it just
Well, the
in
head
the
of
driver's
it,
seat?
the head of it
basically?
kind of stuck up here, and it's sold as a unit.
Okay.
And of course, you replace these wheels with the wheels that are mounted on that engine. You use the wheels to
Oh.
start the gasoline
Okay.
engine.
Really?
You remember the old model airplane engine? You used to spin
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
finger.
It
and
never
whack,
worked. That.
And whack your
yeah,
finger.
Yeah,
because
you
it would
knew when it
backfire.
started because you knew when it started because it chopped your finger out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, then somebody would start it, and the other guy's holding on to the string, and then this thing was on a circular track, and
Right.
would go around and around at a very high rate of speed.
over 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was
So
unbelievable.
did people just not use the string and shoot them straight down the streets and jump
Well, you
things
had
and
no
stuff
way to
like
ever.
that?
You didn't know how far it was going to go.
Well, you have a
until-
brick wall at some point. or
Well,
something
yeah,
like that.
but it would hit it at 200 mile an hour.
You couldn't slow them down; they were just wide open.
No, there was no control. This was just a
Okay.
string, a rope. Like it kind of came out here and had a Y yoke, like, and they came in all sizes. This is a smaller one.
The
Some
one
of
I
them are,
sold,
you know,
the one I sold Mike was about probably a good 2 times to 2.5 times
Yeah,
bigger
some
than
of them
that
were.
one.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was that much bigger.
And I don't know if anybody even still runs these things like they
Well,
used
I'll
to.
guarantee you
But they were quite popular. Now this was purchased for me when I was probably like 10 or something. I don't remember when I got it.
The
now.
way it's set up now, Philip, it's set up just as a toy now.
As a
so
toy
you can
car.
Just play with it.
Right.
But now, to put the motor and stuff in, you actually you got a different differential and set of wheels.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
what. Yeah.
took those off, and then the body.
Yeah,
come
see,
off,
there's
and
4 screws
and
held.
then
It
you
comes
set it down
apart.
in it.
Oh, so the body comes
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying
and
to figure
you
how you
mount the
slid
engine,
it down.
and then
Okay.
Yeah.
the head would sit. The head would be sticking up here,
Right.
and then
Okay.
along with I guess the filler tube for the little gas tank that was on it.
Yeah.
And like I say, when you wanted to start the engine, you would spin the wheels like you would the prop on an airplane. See?
All right. Well, I've found the American Model Racing Association with their tether cars, and they're showing that you have a stick that attaches to the back wheel, and you push
Well,
it
that
to
could have
start
been
it,
too. Yeah.
which seems like a better idea.
A better idea. But those engines were kind of cranky. Sometimes they didn't want to start.
Yeah.
I can remember from the model airplane days, I had a couple of those with you put in airplanes, you'd fly
Yeah.
around on the
Yes.
string. And sometimes they were a little hard. They had a glow plug, you had a little battery, you'd get them, and it would glow.
Oh
you
wow.
know.
Okay.
And once it started, it was under like a kind of like a diesel engine that continued to run
Until the fuel was gone.
until the fuel was gone.
Yeah. Well, if you join this American Miniature Racing Car Association, most of their races are in California and Indiana and New York. So, so we're left out of that down
Yeah.
here. There might be a southern version of it or something.
Yeah, no, this is a Roy Cox Thimble Drome Champion. Was made in Santa Ana, California.
Google Roy Cox. I guarantee he was a race car driver. So we've looked up that car right there, and those kind of cars. What did I tell you, Howard? They range from 650 with the engine.
Well,
in
with
it,
the engine, yeah,
down to about 150.
yeah. Without the engine, probably in the $150, $200 range, depending on the condition.
Yeah, and that one's really
For being a toy that I played
think it's
with
in
a
great
lot.
condition.
Yeah, and it's
Yes.
original. I was notorious for painting things.
You didn't paint that one.
And I left this one alone. See, when a kid come
I
along
was going to say you did a great job on that.
no,
Yeah. Like that one.
and this was the original number 12, and by not painting it, I preserved the value. If I'd have
Really
painted
did.
it, I would have ruined it. It'd be worth about $25 probably.
Yeah, be a parts car then.
Parts
with-
car, yeah.
But I tell you, that the tether car thing was a big deal.
Oh yeah, they were real popular at one time.
Matter of fact, when Mike came, I sold him one. It didn't have the engine, and I sold him 3 bodies. So
Yeah,
I put him in the tether car business.
yeah, they're
We need to
really.
email him and ask him if he's for some video of him racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can actually on the show. It showed, the show that we did.
Yeah, but
with
him. Yeah, we'll see
him racing it?
Yeah.
restoring and racing it. Yeah. All right, I found some stuff about Roy Cox.
Okay, so
He was a toy developer. He developed a keen interest in mechanical devices while spending many hours in his father's electrical shop or bicycle shop. He had been an electrician for 20 years and run his own electrical business during part of that time, but didn't like the field of work. However, he found it hard to break away from. In 1944, he noticed the poor quality of wooden toys and came up with a design for a wooden pop gun of better quality than the toys of the period. And with $2,200, he tooled up for fast production in his garage using neighborhood women for help. The pop gun took off with a bang and the business was established. In 1945, metal became available for civilian use and wooden toys became obsolete overnight. And the business had moved to an old foundry building to make them. At this point, he designed a small race car, and in 1946, he and a friend tooled up the car and hired in a production crew. And orders flowed in the front door, and the cars flowed out the back door. On August 6th, with 20 people on the payroll, they were turning out 1,500 cars a day.
Wow.
that's amazing.
That's a
Of
lot.
course.
in 47, he introduced the Cox Thimble Drome Champion race car.
That's
That's
this
you.
one.
All right. Okay, so that's 1947. There
Yeah.
you go.
So this,
well, at
from
least
that
it
period,
started.
that would be about right. Because I was,
Would you like to know how much that cost new?
how much?
$4.75.
That's a lot of money.
That was a lot of money back
Well,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, it's a
I think I got it as
it's
a
a pretty
birthday gift or
advanced
something.
toy,
you know,
too, though.
back in I might have been 7, 8, 9 years old, somewhere in that range. It's been around forever. I know that.
I'm amazed how well you take care of your stuff.
Well, you can see I played with it a lot here
Yeah.
on the bottom.
yeah, but that's
But that
that's
was playing
common-
in the sandbox
that's
and
common
stuff,
wear.
you know. That is not. I didn't beat it up or hit it with a hammer. Thank goodness.
So tell us more about old Roy.
In 48, the firm introduced the first engine-powered race car ever to hit the market, under $100. The retail price was $20, or $19.95, sorry.
That was with the engine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 48, sales were well in excess of $500,000, selling cars both with and without engines. Of course, he soon began selling his own brand of Thimble Drome Glow Fuel. In 49, Cox introduced a smaller car called the Special with .045 displacement. For this, he bought piston rod cylinder in the head from Mel Anderson Company. Leroy was a perfectionist and a fanatic about quality control. Eventually, the entire car, engine and all, was made in the Cox plant. So the car craze was over by now, and sales dropped late in 49. He realized he had to go in a new direction, and improved durability, quality, and starting characteristics would be greatly improved in the model engines. A mass market would be waiting for a complete line of engine-powered models, especially airplanes.
So there was the Cox engine.
That
The
was
little
him.
gasoline
right. Yeah,
engine.
the-
Yeah, I was thinking in the back of my mind. He
I
made
did
up
not
something.
realize that. Yeah.
Huh.
Let's see, the Space Bug engine was a remarkable advance in engine design that they designed. It had a compact cast aluminum crankcase fastened to a rather large cast aluminum gas tank. Tank held a reed valve fuel induction system and was radial mounted on the firewall by 4 screws. The piston connecting rod was ball and socket rather than having a wrist pin. The most fascinating feature was the steel cylinder piston combo that was fashioned to fantastically close tolerances. Instead of a glow plug, it had an aluminum glow head with built-in glow coil of his own design.
Wow.
In 53, he was selling 3 different versions of the Thimble Drome engine. The Space Bug sold for $695. By demand, the heavy tank was removed by the modelers and was called the Thermal Hopper for $695. Then Space Bug Jr. with the plastic tank for $395. The first engine review in Model Airplane News magazine was in May of 1953, which sparked a new wave of enthusiasts. And the first plane, advertised in 1953, assembled and ready to go for 1995.
I'm gonna tell you something. In the '60s, I remember it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Those,
yeah.
Those, and the '50s.
Yeah, I had one in the 70s, but
I did
gosh,
too.
it just never seemed to work
Yeah,
very well.
airplanes.
So what I
By the
did, I went
70s,
to the larger Tether cars, and looked up. You know, I told you what those regular ones bring, like his there. That's about what 9 inches long. That one.
Yeah, I guess about under a foot. I would
Okay,
say.
so here's
9,
one
10.
that's 19 inches long. This particular car, and it's called a Atwood Speedway Champion. It brought $6,300.
Wow.
Lord.
See what 10 more inches is there?
Should have got the bigger one there.
10 more inches. And then here's another one. It's called the Indy 500.
Uh-huh.
So it brought around $3,200, I'd say. And then here's one right behind it at $3,150. So the bigger cars bring a lot of money, and that's what mine was.
Yeah, you had the
19
bigger car, yeah.
I sold mine, it and the memory jug, and I sold him the car, the 3 bodies, and the memory jug. I think for $1,100.
Now, what's
That's
the
not bad.
memory jug?
You know, that was a it was a ceramic jug that the coal miners and people, they would take their jug and carry it. It was basically a lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
And they would put their soups and stuff in it when they was working in the coal mines or factories or wherever.
Right.
But what they did, they dressed that jug up. They'd put personal items on it, like buttons and just metal objects. And,
Yeah.
You know, they'd take ceramic and when they get done with it, it would just be almost just anything you could think of. It might have a dime on it, or we wouldn't have a dime. Somebody'd pop that off. But it had all kinds of stuff on it.
Yeah.
Do memory jugs right there and look them up.
I've never heard of
I
that.
hadn't either. That's
But
why I
anyways,
asked.
you know, there was a way to carry your lunch to
Uh-huh.
school.
Yeah, so
to-
you'd know
to
it was
work.
yours. Yeah.
Before, there was thermos bottles and lunch boxes.
Huh.
And Aladdin capitalized on the lunch boxes.
Yeah.
And I've got to tie out my story and explain why in the late 70s and early 80s they weren't as good. As in 1969, he sold out the company to Leisure Dynamics, who carried on producing the Cox line of products. So, and then he died in 81. So by the time I was playing with him,
The bean counters got
the
there
bean counters
and,
were running
and,
the company.
and started lowering the quality of the material,
Oh.
so the things didn't work as good as they used to. Oh boy.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, this other little car that I brought over, it's a Distler, Distler, I guess.
Yeah.
It's German.
That's it, yeah.
And it's called the Wanderer, and I think it was based on a BMW model
Yes.
at the time.
It's a good looking little
But
car.
it was a cute little thing, isn't it? And
Yes.
it was really neat. And
Did it
this-
have a plastic windshield at one time?
It used to have a little plastic, a plastic windshield. Of course, had the steering wheel. Which
Other than that, though, that car's complete.
yeah,
That was made in Nuremberg, Germany.
Nuremberg.
Johann Distler.
Yeah.
There's one on eBay that's in much worse condition and in pieces that went for $44. So.
Yeah,
But it's
I think
Yeah.
this one here is like 200. I think I
Yeah.
found one.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this isn't-
almost
that
200.
thing. It's still got everything's on that
Yeah,
car
that's
except for
in
the
great
windshield and
shape,
steering
yeah.
wheel.
Yeah,
That
and,
is.
and a piece of the steering wheel is actually down on the floorboard. You can see it down here, but not enough to where you could put it back on. Just a piece of it.
I'll tell you what we better do.
We went past. I wondered
passed
why it was
down.
getting dark in here.
Yeah, you know why.
We let Howard start talking to us.
Yeah, I got carried away. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
Okay, we're back here with Let's Talk Antiques, and now we're going to kind of change subjects and talk
Our
about
subject today.
airships.
Yeah, but we're still going to be in toys.
No, these are toy airships.
But we're going to talk about the original ones that cost the companies to make the toys.
Well, yeah, but do you remember the movie at Christmas time, Put Your Buy Out with the BB gun?
Yeah.
Christmas story.
Yeah.
The Red Ryder
the
BB gun?
younger brother, when they are opening their gifts, he
That was
gets
one of his
he gets an
presents.
airship.
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah,
he got one, yeah.
I was thinking about that when you said that's what we were going to talk about this morning. But they're opening their toys on Christmas morning, just before the what's his name comes.
Before the bunny.
Yeah, before he comes down as a rabbit. But his younger brother opens up one of his packages or gets one, and it's a big old airship or dirigible or blimp. I guess
Zeppelin?
those are, but the Zeppelin. These are the Zeppelins, the airships that we're talking about.
I'm surprised you don't have one, Howard. Aren't you?
He probably tried to fly it off the roof or something like that.
I never had one of these.
Really?
No, I don't know why. I guess the one that exploded, the Graf Zeppelin, the one that went down.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that
The Hindenburg.
the Hindenburg. I guess that kind of ruined the
Mass
Zeppelin,
appeal.
the mass appeal.
Well, believe it or not, I have some true Hindenburg pieces, and most of it is letters that was on the plane when it blew up that survived.
Yeah, my goodness. I don't think anything like that would have survived that fire.
Yeah, but see, a lot of it fell out.
Well, that's true too. A lot of things fell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the top of the Empire State Building was actually built to mask those
Well, they
Zeppelins.
were supposed to. There was a dock up there or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
At one time.
Oh,
Well, was that the second voyage that they done that happened? Because they'd been here before, right?
I thought it had ran several voyages.
Okay.
I
Had
thought
it?
it
Okay.
had.
Yeah, it had.
Because they were on regular, like an ocean liner ship.
Right.
But
A whole lot faster.
Instead, it was an airship.
86 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Think how windy it would be to try and dock on top of the Empire State Building with that thing. Man, that'd been scary.
Yeah. Hey, and so you're going to tell the story
tell us.
about it a little
Okay.
bit, but in one of them, it actually broke the record. It was like 47 hours and 2 minutes or something. So they must have had the wind at their back.
Possibly, yeah.
Because it took, on the average, I think it said 2.5 days or something.
Let me do this story.
Well, go ahead.
Go with it.
Go ahead there.
Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin drew up plans for the first Zeppelin airship as early as 1874, but it wasn't until 1910 that the massive craft was finally in commercial service. In World War I, the German military deployed the ships for reconnaissance and bombing raids in England and Scotland. In the 1930s, Zeppelins, including the Hindenburg, were making commercial transatlantic flights to Brazil and North America. The top of the Empire State Building was designed as an aircraft docking point. One of the most successful airships, the Graf Zeppelin, was 776 feet long with a diameter of 100 feet and was capable of 80 miles an hour. This is the first airship to make a commercial passenger transatlantic flight. The Graf Zeppelin flew without incident on 590 voyages, covering more than 1 million miles. The mammoth Hindenburg was more than 800 feet long and about 135 feet in diameter with a top speed of 84 miles an hour. It and its sister ship still hold the record as the biggest airborne man-made craft. The Hindenburg would cross the Atlantic in 2.5 days and once crossed from New Jersey to Frankfurt in 43 hours, 2 minutes. Many toy makers began to create models of these craft during the heyday of the airship. Manufacturers such as Meyer, Lehman, Marlick, Guntermann, Miller and Catter, Tip & Co. and Aurore in Germany, Marx Toys and Strauss in the United States, JEP in France, Mashuda, CK Toys and Kono Kaduzo in Japan, all produced airships of various types. These often had clockwork motors, which turned the propeller, enabling the ship to be powered on a circular path while suspended from a string. These Art Deco wonders are valuable collectibles today. The Germans, Lehman, produced a variety of tin plate airships, usually in the 7 to 10 inch size. These had suspended gondolas and internal clockwork motors which rotated at oversized propeller. The clockwork motors usually included a braking mechanism. Some of the models were produced in a gilt fashion and were fitted with faux rudders. Meyer produced not only various tin-plate clockwork airships which operated on a string, but variations such as a dirigible which rolled out of its hangar on rails via spring action. Should you track down, you might set you back $5,970. The price realized for one at a Christie's auction recently. All right, so they've got some pictures of some of these on here. There's the Orobar, produced an airship model which in good condition with a link of Mecchiano string, substituting for the original. Recently sold for $290. Tip and Company example of the Graf Zeppelin with landing light, sold for $470 at auction. A pair of German tin-plate airships of unknown makes, with the smaller of the two having a cloth-covered frame, sold for $170. And the model called the ELP-1 airship was made by Lehman in good condition with a fair box, was auctioned for $260. So and they vary from, looking super realistic to Art Deco to carved wood. I mean, they cover the whole gambit.
Right.
And even the carved wood ones bring good money for because they're 100 years old.
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
So,
They're so
Ronnie,
unique.
do you have some of the eBay ones looked up?
I have a 1938 Tipco. Then this is a Graf Zeppelin, like we was talking about. Very rare item. $595 is what this one brought. I also have some stuff from the real Graf Zeppelin. I have just some of the dinnerware. It's a plate, 9.5 inches, brought $1,449. That's some money for a plate.
There's a letter right there.
Hmm?
And I told you I had a few of them.
There's a postcard airmail to India. It's 1928. Brought, I'd say, somewhere in the $1,200
Mine's
range.
actually off of the Hindenburg.
That's probably worth more than this one.
Yeah.
This Graf Zeppelin was the second largest one, and the Hindenburg was the largest. I have. There's plenty of this airmail stuff here, and it's all bringing good money
It's
too.
expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Give them some more prices.
I've got some stamps. USA airmail Graf Zeppelin airmail set brought somewhere in the, I'd say, $900,000 range for that.
900,000.
900 to 8,000.
Oh,
I'd like to have a 900,000.
that scared me when you said that. Well, 900 to 8,000.
To
That's still
8,000.
awful high, but that's better.
That's pretty good money for some
I was
stamps.
going to go look through my old stamps.
You might have a set of these 1930 Graf Zeppelin airmails, set of 3, brought $899.
Wow.
Then I have a U.S. on blown covers, 1930, another set, brought $895. Empire U.S. stamp, Graf Zeppelin, another set, brought somewhere in the $800 range. There's plenty of these. Another set here, all 3 stamps, $765. So if you've got those stamps, they're gonna bring some pretty good money. And then I have just a porcelain cup and saucer here, $600.
That's
Graf
interesting there, the porcelain
Zeppelin.
cup, because it was just like a steamship.
Yeah.
They
Or
had,
train.
Yeah.
Or train, but they had, when you rode on that, you had great meals.
Sleeping berths.
Sleeping
and-
areas.
and dining
This was a
areas.
ship that flew through the air. That's why they were called airships.
Well, you say a 2-day
And-
journey.
Yeah, makes
really,
sense,
I mean, it made that's what they were competing against, and the accommodations were first class. I imagine they had different classes, but dinnerware, good stuff, not
Yeah.
not
I wonder,
plasticware,
like,
not styrofoam.
price wise, because I mean, of course, it seems like it's going to cost more, but you could travel in 2 days as opposed to
A week
a week or
close to a
more
week.
to in a ship. So let me throw in one more before we go to a commercial here.
Yeah.
I've got a Hindenburg silver-plated pitcher, one of only 3 pieces and known to survive. So this is a water pitcher, $8,000.
See,
Silver plated.
silver plated, but I mean,
But from the Hindenburg.
from the
Yeah, from the
Hindenburg,
Hindenburg,
and
yeah.
and it was probably good quality stuff to begin with,
Yes.
which even if it hadn't crashed and all that would be worth a lot of money. Maybe not that much, but I guess we better take another break, and we'll be back shortly.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, we're still talking about the Zeppelins, right?
Yeah, we hadn't got off them yet.
Oh, okay.
So you found a piece, and Ronnie found actually a piece off the Hindenburg. Asking price, not sold, but you found something sold there for how much?
I got a Hindenburg votive oyster glass, crystal etched directly from the ship. They were asking $600, and they got about $520, $525, somewhere around there.
Ain't that amazing?
My goodness gracious.
And this is a really cool thing. It's a rare Imperial German Zeppelin airship badge. So this is like if you're,
Crew member. I guess
crew member.
Yeah.
For the Imperial Germany. That were 29 bids on it. It went for $529. So it's really nice looking too. It's a good shape. It's got a Z on it with a Zeppelin in the middle of it too. So it's really cool looking.
Yeah, that's back when Germany, the Kaiser was the
exactly. Yeah, that would have been
leader
Kaiser
or the
time,
head
yeah.
of the government.
There you go.
Not the Fuhrer.
No, that's before, a long time before him.
long time before.
I've got a original Zeppelin Hindenburg board book, North America trip, May 3rd, 1937. One bid on that went for $490. Here's a picture, original large piece of the Graf Zeppelin outer skin with a stitched seam in it. Went for $495.
This is the covering?
Yeah, the part of the skin.
Part of the covering.
And that's that's just bizarre to spend $500 for
a piece of canvas that's
piece of,
got or something that's got painted or something on it.
Yeah.
Probably lead paint too.
Now what about
You're a hardcore collector at that point.
Yeah. You really are into this, are you? Now, but what about Zeppelin toys?
Well, since you mentioned that,
Yeah, that's
here's one. Here's an airship. It's a wind-up. And it's got a box, and the box is in pretty good shape. And it brought $338.
I've got a vintage steel craft Akron blimp Zeppelin airship. This is a pool toy with wheels on the bottom. $325 for that one.
So it's pretty good.
It's in
And
it's
1930,
pretty used.
1938, 37, 36. That probably went for just a couple dollars each.
Yeah. By the way, that thing was 26 inches long. That's a big one.
That's a big toy.
Oh, it says right on. Okay, I didn't, but it didn't look that big from the picture I was seeing. Okay.
Well, that's why you read the rest of it.
All
there,
right,
Phil.
well,
The rest of the story.
Yeah.
here's a Hindenburg Zeppelin blimp balloon airship model toy. This must be a pretty good find because there were 85 bids on it. It went for $208.
A lot of activity on that
Yeah.
one for some reason.
Zeppelin airship vintage pull toy, steel craft again, $250. That's about 1.5 feet long or so. You could probably ride on that. We probably would. Would have, not would.
No, would now.
Would have.
Could have.
1930
Yeah.
large steel craft pressed steel Graf Zeppelin pull toy, German airship. They were asking $260 and they took somewhere between $250 and $200. Here's a Mark Lehman USS Shenandoah tin airship. Made in Germany. They were asking $250 and took somewhere between $200 and $170. Here's a circa 1910 Lehman EPL-1 10-plate airship. Works. It's got a little stand to hold it up. 30 bids on that one for $168.75. You got a, let me look this, Zeppelin blimp vintage toy, but Lord, it's got $91 shipping.
No wonder it just brought 75.
Oops, I hit the wrong button here. Let me go to the
Why are you doing
listing.
that, Ronnie? You got one there for 152. What's that?
Yeah, that's a Navis, a Neptune Shenandoah airship in the original box, $152.50, 8 bids.
You got another $150 one right below it, ain't you?
Antique tin wind-up flying airship. This is a Lehman. It's got the clockwork. It's got the wind-up. $150.50 with 24 bids.
Yeah.
Well, what about Philip?
Okay, so mine was 30 inches long and made out of wood. So the $90 shipping seems a
that's
little
why-
more.
That's why, because it was heavy.
And it was shipped U.S. Postal Service too. So, yeah, that's first class.
30 inches long. That's a big one, man.
Pretty good size.
This is a big one.
Oh, it's 3 foot.
I'd like to hope it's at least hollow, but still.
Would 30 inches be 2.5 feet?
It would,
Okay.
all the time.
Give or take.
Plus or minus.
I wonder if Goodyear still operates their blimps.
Well, they have of course.
I used to see them at the racetrack all the time.
If you watch golf on Sunday
Oh, okay.
afternoons, a lot of times there's a blimp flying around,
The Goodyear blimp.
the Snoopy blimp,
there used to be-
MetLife.
They would stop in Tullahoma every once in a while.
I've seen them fly over
Yeah.
here.
At Bonnaroo. I've seen
Bonnaroo?
them flying around
I've
Bonnaroo.
not seen one.
Yeah.
at
I think
Bonnaroo.
I've seen them about Bonnaroo time. I don't know if they was going to Atlanta or where, but they
Okay.
2 or 3 of them come through. You remember?
Football season, racing season, they seem
Yeah,
like they're
usually
around.
see them around. But now the blimp is not the same as the airship. First of all, they're smaller,
A lot smaller.
and they have they only have like a small cabin on
Right, yeah.
bottom that maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 people at the most could fit in.
That's what.
But the airships were huge, and they carried on a lot of passengers, like
Right.
If
like
you could-
today's modern airplanes.
You know, if you think 800 foot long, that's 8 building lots. You know, you see a person's house sitting on a 100-foot lot. You know,
Right.
that's mostly what it used to be. So that's 8 of those.
Well, how many football fields is that?
Yeah,
A bunch.
A bunch.
300 foot.
Yeah.
300 yards.
almost 3 footballs.
Almost 3
Yeah,
football.
almost 3 football fields.
And
That's
these were
amazing.
huge.
That'd be impressive. Yeah.
And of course, where they made the mistake was using a flammable gas.
That's all they had.
He'll be fine.
Yeah,
Remember, that's all they had, and America wouldn't sell them.
right. That's what Germany had to use, I believe
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
And,
because America wouldn't sell it to them.
right, because we used. I guess our airships had the helium, in them,
Well, let me check.
and it wasn't quite as efficient. It wouldn't pick up and carry as much, but. So I mean, these things this was huge. You see
Well,
it come flying over the.
You know, if it just happened to be over this radio station right now, it'd make it dark.
It would. It would block the sun out.
Yes, it would. So what are you looking at, Philip?
I was trying to figure out if the United States was using helium as opposed. It says hydrogen. Using hydrogen as a lifting gas was completely abandoned in the late 30s.
Yeah.
And swapped out for helium.
We know why.
Yeah, after the disaster.
Hindenburg in
But
37.
the use of helium can reduce an airship's payload by more than half.
See the difference?
yeah.
Yeah.
An airship or dirigible balloon, let's see, use helium because it's not flammable.
Now, as far as the blimps in today's world, of course, you see them at sporting events and stuff, but I believe the military uses them for some, like, reconnaissance type
Well, if you remember, during World War II, they actually had a division
Yeah, oh, yeah.
that did that.
Yeah. And they were great for, like, if they were on, like, out on the water, over the ocean, watching for stuff coming in, they could stay out there a long time. See,
Sure,
because they
yeah.
use very little fuel, very fuel efficient. So they could stay on station for a long period of time before they ran out of fuel and had to come home.
Right.
whereas an airplane can't stay out that long. at
Yeah,
that time.
they used hot air balloons during the Civil War
Well, yeah, they
for
did.
reconnaissance.
Right.
Boy. So a difference between a blimp and an airship is that a blimp is a non-rigid
Yeah,
frame. So
it's like a big balloon.
it doesn't have an internal structure, or framework, or a keel.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas the dirigibles actually have a steel frame, and
The
there were
rigid airships or zeppelins.
Aluminum frames.
Yeah,
wasn't
there
it?
were passageways through there where the crew could walk through the ship,
To work on it.
to work on it. Of course, they couldn't. That in that area there was oxygen. Obviously, they couldn't go into the part where there was just the what was it? Nitrogen? What was it?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, not nitrogen. Hydrogen.
Sorry.
Hey, looks like we're going to have to take another break.
Well, why
Okay.
don't we do that?
This is a good stopping point.
I think so.
Okay, we'll be back. Hopefully.
Hello, I'm Pick and Rick T from CFC, best place to get you used auto parts and all types of metals to repurpose for your needs. Just take a drive down 55, see this handsome guy, stop on by. Check out our computer for hundreds of autos to locate the make and the model of the part you need. $2 fee is all you pay. Sign in and get a hand stamp, it's good for all day. Bring in your tools, get the parts you need pulled, and use a wheelbarrow to lighten the load. Pay for your parts, prices you'll be fond of. Each part's price the same, Chevy or Honda. Get exchange warranty for 30 days too. Swap out the parts you don't need for the parts that you do. Happy pick.
The Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester has been voted as having the best hamburgers in Manchester. Hometown atmosphere, historical memorabilia, and of course those great burgers, salads, chicken, and so much more. It's the Jiffy Burger on the Hillsborough Boulevard in Manchester. Call in orders at 728-4452. You can also order at the convenient outdoor curb service. Hamburgers are made the old-fashioned way at the Jiffy Burger, Manchester's finest hamburgers. Open 7:30 until 9, Monday through Saturday.
All right, what are we going to talk about now, fellas?
Well, we might as well stay with the theme.
Mm-hmm.
So, during World War II and prior to that, even the Civil War, they took their shells and carved out, they dug a chess set one time that the people had made.
Uh-huh.
So, with the shell casings and stuff, you want to kind of tell the story about it, trench art?
Trench art helped soldiers pass the time. Since the dawn of warfare, soldiers have fashioned art and other decorative items from the materials at hand. Historically, the term trench art is applied to art made during the Napoleonic Wars up to the present day. Although in the trenches of World War I, this artistic pastime reached its heyday in the trenches of World War I, all along the Western Front, which is where this type of art acquired the name trench. The National Art Museum has a section titled Trench Art World War I, All You Need to Know, which says trench art does not just refer to things made by soldiers in the trenches, but objects made by anyone in response to conflict or recycled out of war materials. This includes soldiers that were in trenches and those far behind the front lines, prisoners of war who made things to pass the time or to trade with the civilians. Basically, there are four broad categories associated with trench art: items made by soldiers, items made by POWs and internees, items made by civilians, and commercial items. Working within these four categories, many collectors only seek items made by soldiers, especially those items that suggest they were truly fashioned in the trenches of World War I. Okay. You want to...
So you've looked up some trench art, right? You and Ronnie both.
I've got some stuff here.
Okay.
I've got a German World War II pocket watch, Iron Cross trench art. It's a holder desk stand for display. So it's got an eagle's head with an iron cross on it, like a marble stand. This is very nicely made, which is probably why it's the most expensive thing on here. 33 bids, $735.
Wow.
That's pretty good money.
Yeah.
Well, hey, hang on just a second. Ronnie, what's that $3,300 hat?
That's a $372 hat.
Oh, okay.
What you're seeing there is they're showing that those were bid in one currency and they're giving estimates for another currency.
All right, okay.
But this was an Australian light infantry slouch hat made from a World War I brass shell case, and it with 50 bids, $372.46, approximately in U.S. dollars.
Well, top that, Philip.
All right, I've got a World War I Seaforth Highlanders Trench Art put and take dice gambling game. It went for $683 after 38 bids. I was trying to look it up to see what it was. 10 has a military lid button with cork stopper. The tin contains 6 bovine bone counters and 3 dice. And the base is Imperial France coin showing rubbing and signs of wear. So this was a dice game that they played in the trenches, and
they made
so
the dice.
they had to made it out of a cow's bone mostly,
Nice.
and coins.
Be easy to
And
kind of
coins.
load those dice, wouldn't it?
They loaded to start
So
with.
you always won.
Did you ever do that, Howard?
Me? No.
Did you ever pitch dice?
Sure he did. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
Only when I play Monopoly.
Oh, only Monopoly. All right. I've got a World War II Russian brass cigarette case, trench art, about $350.27.
Philip.
Here is a World War I German Karl Schluch artillery fuse projectile trench art. So it looks like a shell to me, but I guess they've painted on it and done some stuff. So 5 bids, $511. Doesn't seem. Oh, you know, these are large. These are those large shells. This isn't like a rifle shell. Okay, there you go.
No. This is an artillery shell.
Yeah,
Has it been?
very good original condition.
Yeah, but has it been?
Yeah, it's left over. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have made it
Has
into
it-
artwork.
Has it had the powder took
Has
out
it?
of
Has
it?
the ammo been? The explosive part been removed?
Projectile is 12 inches long.
Yeah.
Diameter is 67 millimeter. I like how they mix English and metric there.
Right.
Used but very good condition.
So,
They fired it.
Used once. There you go.
hey, what did y'all do with those shell casings during Vietnam when you would shoot them? Because they were large, right?
Yeah. I don't know where they went. I think they were.
Did y'all reload them?
Well, we didn't, but I think they went back. I think somebody did. Because the shell, was the 105, so it was about yay big.
So tell people
And
how big yay big is there.
Oh, I don't know, about yay big.
What do you say, about 16 inches or
Something
something?
like that, I guess. It's been a long time since I saw one.
That's a
But
big
they
shell.
had powder bags in them, and of course, depending how far you wanted the shell to go, you would tell the gun, charge 5, charge 6, and they would remove bags of powder and in that casing. And
I didn't know. I've heard that in movies, but I didn't know what they were referring to.
Yeah, and then it, they would fire. Of course, not having as much power behind the projectile, that it limited how far it would go, depending on how close the target was.
Yeah. So you adjusted it to the target.
Yeah, right. You had to adjust it. Well, it was always exciting because after, you always had these leftover bags of powder. So
Uh-oh.
yeah, that was the one thing that I did not like especially when I was in the States. A lot of times I was a safety officer when we had live fire. And after the thing was gone, everybody's gone, me and my team, we would get those bags in powder and have to burn them. And you'd lay them out in a strip, and they would burn, and we had to stay there until everything was put out. And
They
stuff.
didn't reuse those bags of powder
they
for
did not
something
reuse
You
else?
didn't
those
just
bags.
throw them into a pyre or something like
Well,
that.
basically you lit it, and but you didn't.
Yeah.
It was kind of dangerous, and it burnt very hot.
Yeah, I'm sure it did,
obviously.
yeah.
But so this was the actual artillery shell, painted up some way. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
Now, I've seen taller shells than that, though, Howard.
yeah,
I've seen
well,
them 2
depending-
foot tall.
Oh yeah, depending on what.
Yeah, those ones on the ships are gigantic.
Yeah, I know 155 is bigger than a
battleships are-
105.
Yeah.
Of course,
They were brass, all of them brass?
The part where the powder was encapsulated.
That's
yeah, and then there was
plastic, isn't it?
a firing pin that went up through there, that ignited all that.
Wow.
I think Brian picked up one the other day from World War II for $20.
Wow.
That's
Good
cheap.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've found, and before we run out of time here.
yeah, we're getting close.
I found a really interesting one, which is a World War II grouping, and it's like a little table type thing, but it's only like 6 by 9 inches, and it's a helmet, liner, Ike jacket, diary, patches, pins, dog tag,
Yeah.
and it's like a little jacket with helmets next to it, and it says Trench Art from it says where it's from, New Guinea in 1944.
Wow.
And it is amazingly modeled, just a little tiny.
But it looks like
Outfit,
a real
yeah.
jacket and real
Like a real
helmet.
thing.
Yeah, $400.
Even got the stripes, Howard.
Wow,
Let's see.
that's amazing. Of course, it helped pass times, things like that.
I guess so. Yeah, you're sitting around, nothing to do. That's
Yeah.
get your mind off of what.
Well, one thing about when I was in the military, it was hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait. All right, looks like we're out of time for this week. So I guess we'll be back next week, won't we?
Lord willing.
Okay.
Great, no rise.
So tune in next week for more Let's Talk Antiques here on Thunder Radio. And we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.